What's up, everybody? Welcome to From Boys to Men, the podcast where we discuss a ton of stuff. And I hope y'all got a chance to listen to that last episode. We talked about comparison. Of course, Dom gave us a story.
Hater.
And it was
A story.
a story for sure.
Hater.
Side note, speaking of story time with Dom, I'm not going to let y'all in on everything, but I'm just going to let y'all know we got some super dope stuff coming and some episodes coming soon when it comes to that, to story time.
Beef it up a little bit.
It's
to make it a little better.
Real exciting and really dope. So,
Interesting.
to make it even more entertaining for you all and for you guys to feel like you're in the story, if that makes sense. So, of course, we got to have, side note, I ain't done this in a while too. Hey, shout out to all the OGs, man, who've been listening from the start. We're out in season 2 right now. And I know we really don't have no numbers for seasons. We just feel like it should be season 2. Why not?
We took a break. We came back. So season 1, season 2.
We had a little off season.
Matter of fact, for all the OGs, go ahead and like, subscribe if you haven't already. Pretty sure you have.
Yeah.
Leave a comment when you first started watching and at what episode.
We need more shares. Like, if y'all can continue to share. Like, side note, shout out to everybody who's been watching. Like, y'all really been dope watching this on Facebook big time. Like, Facebook.
We appreciate it.
We appreciate it, for real. Y'all been watching, and it's been super dope.
Honestly, everybody watching right now, just take a break and just hit the share button right now. It's going to be a good episode. Just hit the share button right now, like the video, and then go back to watching.
Yep. And then after the video's over, go ahead and go back to all of our old videos and share all of them. And if you haven't liked them, go ahead and like them too.
Just like
Help us
everything.
out.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Like the page too.
of course,
And share the page.
do all of that. But we appreciate you guys for coming through. We got a really dope topic to talk about. But of course, we got to start this off with
A story time with Dom.
All right, Ma, you can go ahead.
Yo, they play me every single time, bro. It is what it is, though. Yo, what up, good people? It's your boy Dom before Nick over here. Slow motion all day, every day. You know what it is.
Wait, hold on. Why are you talking like that?
Like what, bro? I'm tired.
like we 15 and you on the phone talking to your girl.
Feet kicked up.
Probably up in the feet all up in the air.
Moving all around.
It's a good conversation because your feet up in the air. But anyways. Nah, so... What? No, it ain't. Y'all know it's a good
Just go
conversation.
ahead.
All right, so anyways. Yo, what up, good people? Anyways, my story, it's a little simple, man. It was, back in my high school days. Don't say nothing about how long ago it was, but it is what it is. It's one time, right?
At band camp?
I already said my high school days. How you gonna see people's? Anyways, my high school days, I was fresh to the scene, whatever. And like it was, when you young, smelling yourself, you think you can talk to a girl and whatever. And, you had your choices or whatever. But for me, I felt like I ain't had no choices. But the problem was the girls that liked me, I wasn't a good guy. So, my words wasn't matching. So
I'm sorry. Your words were not matching?
nah, bro, my words weren't matching.
They weren't matching his actions.
Oh, okay. I thought.
Oh, yeah, he stopped at matching, so I don't know what they were not matching.
I thought they weren't.
They were matching the actions.
I feel
I
in the
thought
black
they weren't
school.
matching each other. That's what it sounds
That's
like.
cool. I feel in the
Basically,
black.
you was talking game. I got it.
Cool. So anyways, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I used to try to talk to him, whatever. I ain't get no play, but then the ones that try to talk to me, I had to be like, yeah, that's going to be a no. That's going to be a negative.
I wonder why.
So anyways, when I told him negative, it was like, all right, you know what happens though when your freshman year, you saying negatives and stuff, you saying no all the time. I felt bad because, senior year when they came back, it was like, oh, why did I do that? I was felt embarrassed.
They grew up.
Yeah.
Oh, what you saying was they had to glow up?
You ain't had no patience.
None. And I felt they weren't
You
adequate
didn't
enough.
understand.
I didn't.
He was a little shallow.
No, yeah, facts. I saw him. I was like, nah, you ain't good enough. Then I realized, nah, I wasn't good enough because obviously, I misjudged the situation completely. So to all my peoples out there, just getting on the scene or whatever. Yeah, take your time. Fill them out before you start judging who they are. You never know their character or what's gonna happen in the future. Straight up. And that's
This is now Uncle Dom.
Yeah, it is Uncle Dom for real.
That's
With
now Uncle Dom.
Story time with Dom.
What's weird is I actually ain't got nothing bad to say about what he said. He actually gave some genuine knowledge for once in his story time.
It's like twice, maybe.
Wow, that's the first
Once. But like
1.5?
yeah, once.
1.5?
It might have been a half, maybe.
Maybe an eighth.
Some episodes ago.
That's so disrespectful.
But what I will say for the first time though, in every episode,
Yeah.
as for a good segue.
He actually didn't fall. I know. So anyway.
Or hurt himself.
So then we well, he kind of
I mean, he fell.
He fell, yeah.
He fell.
Just not-
not literally.
There you go.
Thanks, guys.
You're welcome.
He failed. He didn't fall.
He failed. He failed too.
He failed. Big
He got a
time.
face full of dirt
Humble
when
pie?
they came. Humble
Yeah.
pie.
Ooh,
dirt,
humble
you
pie. I
know,
like that one.
Yeah.
for sure.
Well, somehow it always comes up to Dom falling. So, or failing at whatever activities.
At the game of life,
Side note, some of y'all might think we're mean, but to be honest,
Failed in life.
yeah, that was a jab. That was rough. I was just about to say, some of y'all might think that we're mean to Dom. It's not really accurate. He comes up with these stories by himself. I'm not coming up with them. He's had these experiences and brings these stories to light that we didn't ask for.
I mean, y'all asked for them. Y'all just didn't ask for the specifics of them.
Yeah, sure.
Some of us asked for him.
There's no screening process. There's no screening process of this situation.
There is it's a little bit of screening process. I definitely ask you. I give you that look like you got a story.
I mean, you always got a story. We had this discussion.
Exactly, but you know what stories not to tell. Let's just say we had a trial run at the beginning of the first season. And let's just say there was a story that was starting to get a little wild.
Guess what? Y'all never heard it.
Anywho, we ain't out here starting no OnlyFans. So anyway, so welcome to From Boys to Men.
Just saying, $1 million sounds real nice.
6 hours.
What? Okay.
All right.
Let's get it.
Let's get back to it. You know what I'm saying? From Boys to Men, we got topic to talk about. Let me. I gotta set the timeline up. But all right, cool. So we gotta talk about. It's funny that he brought that story up though. Perfect timing. Because we want to talk about shallow.
Being
But
shallow.
there's a lot more to it. Like a lot of women would say, guys are shallow. I think it's.
I think it's both.
I think we'll get into that. I just think it's always kind of funny that we're always seen as the shallow ones, and in 2021, it's rough out there.
I'm pretty sure it's always been, both ways.
I actually agree.
No, 100%.
I agree. So I'm gonna go ahead and kick this off to the young buck because he got played. He especially. So first of all, he's definitely probably even more in tune right now with kind of the younger generation, obviously, and certain things that go on. So I'm sure he can kind of like touch on just different things in his own thought and his perspective. So I'm gonna go ahead and kick it to
What
the
you got, G?
I thought you was about to say he's more in tune with being shallow, but we didn't go there.
Wow.
I don't have to be shallow, I have a beautiful girlfriend of over 6 years at this point.
Okay.
So,
You like that assistant?
Okay. Go ahead.
LU, right? But anywho,
Okay.
but if we're talking about generally,
In general, go ahead.
not in my case, but generally, here's the thing with shallow. It's gonna be a little controversy for me, but I don't really believe in it too much. My issue with someone being shallow, I think we get mixed up with dating preferences. Because for me, I feel like you are entitled to like whatever you want to like. Now, I think when you get into, I don't think anybody else or society should tell me who I should be attracted to, for one.
Okay.
For two, as long as I'm not denigrating another person to their face, like, hey, you this, you that. I feel like I am entitled to go out and find whoever I would like to be with. That's what I'm saying.
You know what? I don't mind that. We also got to have this definition. So we got this specific definition that we want to share with y'all. I do like what G just said, honestly, because I get it, but I want to get more into it. But let's get this definition.
Let's get this Oxford.
Hopefully, we can get all the words out properly this time.
I don't apologize for last time. I couldn't say the word. Whatever. Anyways, so
Pretty sure you still can't say it.
you couldn't either.
I
So
said still can.
oh, right. So anyways, word is shallow. Adjective. The best one we got is not exhibiting, requiring, or capable of serious thought.
Now, what's interesting about that is that they like society or over years, everybody, like I said, will always say it's men that are shallow. And this is side note. I'm not about we ain't here to act like men ain't shallow. Don't get me wrong. We ain't about to be playing them games.
Men are perfect.
We
I can't even go. Hey, Mark.
I'm not gonna go.
Mark, go
that's
ahead.
funny, dog. 'cause
Good
I'm
joke.
just saying.
I'm
All
letting him-
2020, we ain't cheat. Somebody screwed it up this year though.
All right, he by himself. All right, so I didn't cheat, by the way, but he by himself on that thought process. Anywho,
I know what I'm talking about, but we ain't gonna say no names.
so okay. Anyway, so go ahead, G. Continue back.
I am talking to me, huh?
Yeah,
Talking
bro.
to me.
I got
okay.
You know, he threw me all the way. Okay.
Because honestly, I don't know who
I
who
don't
he's
know.
talking about.
Well, first thought came to mind was like an entanglement, but I'll leave that. I'll leave that there. It's gonna be fun, man.
Oh man! All right, what a
gonna be
day.
fun.
Okay, so
Back to what you were saying.
yeah, so basically back to what I was saying. So with the whole dating preferences and shallow, I think shallow to me, the why it doesn't really exist to me personally is because it's more of a personal thing, and more so you're only shallow if you are offended by what the person is quote unquote not liking at the moment. So whatever that thing could be, some people may call it shallow if you don't want to date someone who, didn't go to college. They say, hey, you're shallow. I don't think that's particularly shallow. I think maybe they're thinking of a bigger picture and they say, hey, I need someone who's going to push the education on their kid. They're like, you don't know what a person's thinking when they make these decisions. And then when it comes to, the obvious thing is looks of some way, shape, or form. I believe that you have to be with someone for the rest of your life. You're picking someone to be with for the rest of your life.
Right.
If I don't like the way that person looks, what is the chances of us staying together the rest of our life?
That's gonna be tough.
It could be real tough.
I mean, there is plastic surgery.
Oh my.
Again, that's gonna be a tough ass.
And y'all
my
thought I was the one this episode on. Y'all assumed it was gonna be me. Look who it is.
Chuck be out here trying to give y'all philosophy. Behind the scenes,
I'm trying to tell
Why?
you, when these cameras go off,
he ain't throwing no quotes at us. I'm just letting y'all know. At least not these quotes.
I think at the end of the day, it kind of circles back around to, for me, it's just a dating preference. As long as you're not being rude to anybody, specifically going out of your way to tell them that they not this, that, and the third, you are allowed to go out and find whoever you want. There are people for everybody. There are people who like big people, small people, in the middle people, buck-tooth people, straight-teeth people. There are people who like everything out there. So I don't think we all have to say, hey, well, everybody is this. Well, to me, no. I mean, I like this. This person may like that. Beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. Period. That's just what I say.
Yeah.
And I think the beholder, we missed that part. We have the set standard. Because I think it's funny because we're going away. They're saying, hey, magazines tell you that this is beautiful here.
Yeah,
But
I mean, let's be honest, right? When we looking at those magazines,
right.
we're looking at some other beholder and what they deem beauty.
Right. True.
Right? And then we're saying, oh, well, I agree with that beholder. And
Right.
my opinion of beauty is what theirs is.
No.
You said you just like,
No. I think
a
what
good argument.
happens is
good argument.
I'm interested how you about to rebut.
I was about to say that was a good
I'm
argument.
about to.
That was
I'm
a good
about
one.
to. Because I think what the situation boils down to again is that your own personal preference. And I believe what happens with magazines and stuff is they lay out what the majority thinks. That does not necessarily mean that's what everybody thinks.
I get that.
The majority are going to think a lot of these models and everybody are attractive. Not everybody's going to think they're attractive.
That's fine.
So they're giving you what the majority.
Right.
And then that's just what I'm saying.
Right.
So it's not necessarily
Sometimes
like
it's
they're
not always
telling you what's
majority.
cute. Because my thing is, come on, tell me what I'm attracted to.
It's not. So I beg to differ. I don't think. Now I don't think the general public is aware enough of their own biases or even emotions of what they actually
That's
how they
fair.
actually feel.
That's fair.
So I do think that it can be slanted a certain way.
That's fair.
Which can cause you to now lack that depth of figuring out whether you truly like that person or like what that is, whatever, like that person in that way or like how they look or whatever.
Yeah, we'll definitely agree to disagree on that. Because I can tell you this now. I know what I don't like when I see it.
I got a question for you, G.
That's just that.
How did you come up with what you like?
See, I love that you asked that question. I love that you asked that
I
question.
just got my popcorn ready. Go ahead.
Yeah,
yo.
because honestly, you don't
Got your
come
tea?
up with that.
Oh, really?
That's the thing. You literally see things and people, and it's natural.
You see them in the people.
No, but that's what I'm saying. How everybody likes something different.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't get to choose what you liked. It was a natural thing. You don't get to. A lot of things in life you don't get to pick. You don't get to pick like, hey,
How's a
I'm just
blind
gonna
person
like this.
another person.
You said what?
How's a blind person like another person?
That's different. They go off personality.
Do they?
Ray
Yes.
Charles used to.
Well,
He said,
okay,
absolutely.
okay.
He used to feel on girls'
people's
wrists
for the-
because he
and
didn't
know if
want
they
a
were
big
skinny or
woman.
big. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So
He just assumed that if you were skinny, you'd look better.
But-
which is a societal thing that
Exactly.
they teach you. He's blind. He can't
but
even
that's
see.
different. He blind.
That's-
So he has to go off that.
But I think
He can make his mind up for
even
himself.
though we can see, I actually feel like a lot of us are still blind.
I think,
Okay.
and I think,
It's deep. It's deep.
contrary to what you're saying,
I will give you that.
we naturally come up with these opinions and likes of or likes or opinions about features we believe to be beautiful.
Right.
I think that we are ultimately, and this is to do with anything in life, we're fed certain keys,
Okay.
right, that help us determine what we think is beautiful. And those keys aren't something that we come up with just out of the clear blue sky. We're not coherent to them, or we're not exposed to them in the sense that when we're born, over time we just start realizing, oh, I like a little bit of weight. I like freckles.
Right.
I like light skin. I like dark skin. Right? We don't just ultimately say, yeah, this is just happening. It's certain things that we experience, that we see
Right.
throughout the process of our life,
Right.
that help us, and key word is help us determine what we see as beautiful. And so when I say that when we look at a magazine and we see someone else's appreciation of someone's beauty, right? We will look at that magazine and we might not necessarily say that specific idea of beauty is our idea of beauty, but we're going to grab something from it.
Right.
Right? And it's going to help shape our idea of beauty. And so when I say that, I don't think that we just out here just randomly, hey, oh yeah, that's beautiful. No.
I got an instance.
100% disagree.
I got
That's fine.
100%. Wow. Okay, I got an instance for you.
Okay.
Tough crowd.
It's about to get dark.
I'm enjoying this.
Dom, you don't want to share?
No, we gonna let Dom get in too, because this conversation gotta go a little deeper than that.
Yeah. I got no. I got something. It's gonna get
Dom might
slightly.
be shallow.
I'm
you
gonna need Dom
know, you know what I'm saying?
baseline viewpoint on this too.
It's gonna get a little dark. All right.
All
So
right.
bear with me.
All right, we go.
I can turn the lights up.
So no. So I can't. Anyway, so forgive me if any of you all are hurt by this. I mean no offense. But so think of this, all right?
I'm thinking.
Y'all looking scared. It's not like that. I just don't want anybody to feel like I'm, But all right, so think about this in a certain sense. It may not even be that bad. But if a young boy
Okay.
is molested,
Okay.
right?
Right.
Now, I have heard in many instances where a young boy was molested by a man or whatever.
You're right.
When they were like a little, like a 5-year-old. 5-year-old ain't thinking about that. But that's a whole nother conversation. But
Whole nother podcast.
I don't believe 5-year-olds know what they're really attracted to. So I'll just say
that's
that.
fair.
But let's just say that a boy that age, now he thinks that that's okay. He thinks that that's what he likes.
Okay.
He thinks that that's something that he enjoys.
Right.
Because that's what he was taught.
Right.
Was that this is okay. So,
Right.
as he's been molested by this young boy, he actually didn't have a chance to choose or whatever, feel what he wanted to feel or nothing
Right.
like that. He don't know nothing about no woman and how they make him feel or anything
Right.
of that nature. So now they grow up and maybe they're gay or whatever, they choose to be. And then is that, but from your statement, you said that we're born with these natural feelings and these natural thoughts about what looks good to him. Now a man might look good to him just because of experience that he had when he was younger. So that's an experience that happened, not a born natural situation or born natural feeling.
I know where he's trying to go with this,
if
but-
you have something that to rebuttal that, I would love it. Let's go.
Hey, Dom. I'm gonna get your baseline feelings on this whole topic too. I'm gonna address all of this, but I'm gonna get your baseline feelings on this too.
So, I think there's a lot of variables that come into play in this.
Okay.
No specific order, but going off of Mark, experience does play a factor in what you like. I'm fully agree in that. But I also do agree with you. There are certain things that are natural that you feel you are attracted to. I'm going to agree with that too. So it's like I think that as you grow up and you experience things, you know what I'm saying, you grow to a certain type, I ain't gonna say attachment, but you grow to a certain to like something, more than others.
Right.
You never know. You might long hair, short hair. And you might like long hair because your mom had long hair,
Right.
or like your aunt or somebody let you play in their hair.
True.
So that's something that makes you feel good. But then naturally, a person's personality or the glow they give off, the vibe they give off makes you feel great on the inside that you just want them around you.
Right.
So, I mean, for me personally, I have my own personal experiences. Like they can contest. I've done what made me happy. Y'all can truly contest to that. And no matter who I date or whatever, I do what makes me happy.
Because you're stubborn.
This is true. But
He shouldn't do what makes him
I'm
happy.
just playing.
no, but it's like that's I'm a firm believer in that. You know what I'm saying? That's why I think those both play significant roles. There are other things, but those are the big things that play a role in what your choices and what you like. Mm-hmm. Because religiously, I'm a firm believer. There's somebody out there for you. There's someone that fits everything that you miss up, that you are missing. I'm a firm believer in that. But nevertheless, generally, there are natural things you like and there are natural things you don't like. But there are experiences out there that make you grow to like something and you don't.
Give me an example of something that you would naturally like.
From being a child.
So if I had no knowledge of anything else, let's say I'm 3-4 years old, I'm exploring things because I just see stuff around me that's new, right? Doesn't necessarily mean I like it. We're exposed to new things all the time, and we might be intrigued, right? But intrigued doesn't mean that I like it. So if I have a natural, what's the term I'm looking for? If I'm naturally intrigued by certain things in the world, right? And I go out and I start experiencing these things. Show me something that you would believe is something that is naturally beautiful to you. And I think it's important that we understand when we say beauty, we're not talking about a surface appearance only. We're also talking about things that that are not shallow, right? Because when we look at beauty, it's not always about what's on the surface. Personally, when I looked at my wife, there were attributes that she had that you wouldn't see if you just saw her walking down the street,
Right.
right? And I think those attributes are beautiful.
Right.
So, as a kid, we don't understand what beauty is. We just like it or we don't.
Right.
And so, I'm asking from 3, 4, 5 years old, what is something that you naturally believe is beautiful?
Sunlight.
You think
Moonlight.
beauty is
Yes.
naturally beautiful?
I would
Yes.
agree with that.
Yeah.
So like if I think the sunrise is naturally beautiful, the clouds in the sky, the picture that it paints, right?
At 3, 4 years old.
Yes, I may not know what it is, but the fact that it makes me feel happy because I see it,
Yeah.
I
I
like
agree.
it.
Yeah. I agree.
Now,
I
if you wanna
think
go-
it's beautiful. It's the question. That's what I said.
no, but you're saying the word beautiful like you know what the word beautiful is. You don't know the
That's
word
what I'm
beautiful.
trying. That's the point I just made.
But you can't say that. Just
Exactly.
regardless of saying the word beautiful or not, doesn't make it feel like you know what beautiful feels like to you.
do you
Yes.
at 3 and 4 years old?
You may not know what the word beautiful is, but you know what it feels
You know,
like.
there's a feeling
I think
that you feel when you
I
see
think that we're confusing beautiful and liking something. I think those are different. I can like something, and I definitely don't think it's beautiful.
I can't. I can't.
Let me put it in perspective. I like bigger butts.
OnlyFans page, homie. No, I'm sorry.
And here,
Disregard this man.
chill. What?
What?
So
well, we can see where he was going with it.
My point is,
Clearly, we're
my
not
point
scripted.
I like bigger butts.
Okay.
Yes.
Do
You
I
cannot
think,
lie. We got it.
Do I think bigger right? Do I think bigger butts are a beautiful thing? No. I think it's a nice attribute.
I think there's a difference between beautiful and attractive, if that's what you're getting at. But
Well, yeah. You're attracted to the brightness, the luminous of moonlight, sunlight, because it's something that is shiny. Little kids
No.
like shiny.
no.
We didn't say that. We didn't say the attributes. We said how it makes us feel.
That's what I'm getting at.
Beauty.
Miles.
If I look at something beautiful, it makes me feel a certain way.
I think you're missing my point here. When I say beautiful, in order to feel something, or in order for something to be beautiful, I have to have an understanding of beauty. Let me
Go ahead.
Let me get there, right? And I also have to have an understanding of what that thing is. Right? When we say a girl is beautiful on the surface, we also know that there can be somebody that's ugly.
right.
Right?
to us, make sure
Right,
we
to us.
make that clear.
Sorry.
Right. To us.
To us. Right? There's a knowledge there. Right? It's our preference, but it's still a knowledge.
Right.
Right? So if I said
It's always compared to
sunlight is beautiful, what do I know about sunlight aside from it being bright?
I feel like that it's this use of the word beautiful that you're like beautiful is the only word that can make you feel feel this way. I think you can feel that way without knowing the word beautiful.
I agree.
Feel what way?
Exactly. It's a feeling that you feel that makes you feel whatever you feel. I can use the word feel a million times to make this point. It's a certain feeling that you feel that's going to make you feel this way. And because
What does beautiful make you feel?
what does beautiful make me feel?
Right. If you saw something beautiful, right? You know your wife is beautiful.
Happy, excited.
Warm on the inside. I don't
What?
like apple pie.
He said like apple pie. Okay, all right. I'm gonna try myself back in.
Because I feel like this,
I felt like I
feel
let
like
y'all
we got
go
off a
long
little
enough.
I feel this
Because this whole beautiful and liking thing.
and then all of a
went
sudden
on
we got
a
the
little
warm
long.
inside. And that's
So
all bad segue.
Let me get y'all back on point here. what I'm trying to explain with my point, because I feel like it's all stemmed from my point. So let me elaborate.
I actually forgot your point. I was so focused
Right,
on
exactly.
him and
That's what I'm-
beautiful.
that's what I'm saying.
Who's that?
What the point that you guys were making before you got off on a beautiful tangent was
Beautiful, wasn't it?
right.
Okay.
Was all right, yeah.
Okay, pun intended. Go ahead.
You guys were saying that there are things that can push you to like whatever you like or are attracted to whatever you're attracted to. I'm not disputing that. That's not what I'm disputing. What I'm talking about the after effect. Now what you're ever setting your way as. That's what you like. So now you go out to find what you like. Whether something happened to you in your case, in your experience, in your explanation, or in your case, you're saying 3 and 5, and you see something beautiful and something. Look, what I'm trying to explain to you is when you get older, and now you've had all these experiences, and you saw what you've seen, and now you like what you like. It does not make it shallow now that's what you're going to look for. Is what I'm saying. That's just what you like now.
No, I agree with that point.
That's the point that I'm making. Everyone likes something, and the way I look at it is a lot of the time, because we've talked about this in previous podcasts. A lot of the time, I'm not gonna say all the time, but most of the time, the attractiveness is what gets you to a person.
I am
Right.
100%. I was just about to bring that up. Too.
And so to say that doesn't matter,
I'm like I said,
is not true. Now, their inner beauty and their personality, that's what's going to keep you. But you can't have one without the other. A lot of the time. Sometimes, yes, sure. Maybe some person you wasn't that attracted to, and you meet them and they grow on you or whatever.
hey man, I got ice cream out the cone.
But even I believe in that moment, it just kind of works in the inverse, and where okay, you may become attracted to the personality first, but as you become more and more attracted to personality, they start to look a little better and better to you.
So I got a question. Is it ultimately, in a simplified form, is it just more natural that we are shallow at first? To me, shallow is like being on the surface.
But that's what I'm
feel
saying.
like-
It's necessary. You have to get to the shallow before you can go deep.
Also feel like,
Right.
A person's
Come on over here. Come on. Yep.
I'm sorry, that was good. Let's go.
You can't skip it. That's first.
Well, here's
Okay.
my thing though. I also feel like our opinion of beauty doesn't necessarily have anything to do with being shallow, right?
But that's
Because
what they
like you
attribute it
said-
to, though.
Right? No, I get that, but when you look at our identification of beauty, right? It's whatever our preference is,
Right.
True.
right?
Which is shallow in itself, by the way.
No,
I disagree.
I absolutely disagree with that. I think
Wait,
that,
hold on. I want to know why he thinks that.
Yeah.
I'm curious as to why he thinks that before you go on.
I mean, what he just said, you know what I'm saying? It's our perception itself. I mean, it's not believe. It just the way he said it was like you kind of got this grasp, like it's shallow. It's shallow.
what's shallow? What's shallow about it?
That we in my opinion, that we start off like how I feel about it. It's kind of hard to think. I'm gonna get these words out. Like it's the way you feel about certain things. You know what I'm saying? I think shallow comes with a certain degree of like you said, understanding. I do agree with that part, but in a sense that when you look at beauty and how we get base our perspective on it, it becomes shallow in itself because we base it upon the things we base it on how we feel, but we really gave it not as much thought because we didn't understand our feelings.
All right.
Let me rebuttal to this.
Yeah, go ahead. You talking first.
Because here's the thing, right? When we talking about beauty preferences and things like that, that is something that has been accumulated over the span of our life. That in itself is depth,
See, that's what.
right? If I'm
where I was
looking
going.
at my preferences
where I was
based
going.
on my growth, because my growth absolutely determines what I believe is beautiful. I will never say that my idea of beautiful is shallow. And so when I say that beauty and shallow have nothing to do with each other, I really and utterly believe they have absolutely nothing to do with each other. I think what people believe when they say, a person is shallow for their belief of, and this goes back to what you're saying, dating preferences,
Attraction.
right? Attraction to a person is because they're not tapping into what they believe or what their experience is, right? I think that, like, for example, when a man or a woman will look at a person and say, hey, I'll be with you because of your financial strength.
Right.
I think that is shallow. I think that is shallow because I'm not looking beyond their money, their pocket.
Right.
I don't look. You could be butt ugly or you could be fine as wine. If you got money, I'm good. I think that's absolutely shallow. But to say that that person is shallow for any other preference, like say for example, they looked at the person and they were attracted to him, and then
Then like they knows all of a sudden.
right.
So
I think that's not shallow.
I get why he's over here moaning and groaning over here. Because this basically goes back to what he talked about earlier about there being preferences and certain things of that nature. But so here's I understand what you're saying in the sense of like, okay, if somebody is like they have a preference about money, all they think about they're looking at the money and not actually looking at the person. It's hard to get deeper into there's no way to get deeper into the money, that one shallow thought. Whereas opposed to looking at somebody's outward appearance, there are other things that can then attract you. I understand, but I also see his point when it comes to like preferences, where it's like if that's their particular preference, it doesn't make them necessarily shallow. That's just how they view it. That's what they want for their lives. So I can understand it. I do that, but then again, this is why it comes back to my thought about. Side note, let's put this out here. I don't actually think when people say somebody's shallow. Okay, I think people are going to be shallow from the jump. It's how can you not? Because how can you, as you said, get deeper without the shallow is the surface. So it's no way to get deeper without then going to the surface. So if you're on the surface of whatever it
Starts off shallow.
I think it has to.
It's shallow.
But then what's
want to
funny?
be there.
So
But in the way you explain that, shallow doesn't exist in that situation. Because you can't say in the beginning you're shallow. You're just saying that I'm attracted to this one point about you. But if I never go beyond that point, that makes it shallow.
if you never go beyond that point,
that's what I'm saying. Like if I'm attracted to you because you got money and that's it. Like I don't care nothing else about what you got going on. I'm attracted to your money.
That's shallow.
That's absolutely shallow because I'm not. After that point, I'm not looking to find out more about you. I'm not looking to see any other attributes about you. All I know is you got money.
So the initial step you're saying is not shallow.
Oh yeah,
They can't hear you.
You're saying the initial step is not shallow, but continue on not caring about nothing else.
I didn't say that the initial step is not shallow. What I'm saying is there is no shallow in that. The initial step is the initial step. If you never go beyond the initial step, then you're shallow.
That's what I
Okay,
just said.
cool,
The initial step
cool.
is not shallow.
Cool.
Go ahead, G. Go ahead.
So this is on what I'm gonna say.
Hey, fire off.
No, I ain't gonna fire off.
He didn't say yeah.
Here's the problem.
Okay.
When people talk about men being shallow or women,
Side note, women, can we just bring this out?
yeah,
Women are mad shallow. I've been wanting to bring that up, but we ain't have the right time.
That was actually gonna be my back end.
Women are mad
since
shallow.
you brought it up, I'm gonna put this out first and foremost. Women, I'm going to look. I'm sorry.
He got to
be mad at me.
He got to be
You guys,
6'1",
you guys,
6'2".
Go ahead, G. My bad.
way more shallow than men.
Specifics, though.
I promise you, you guys are way more shallow than men. I promise you are. You want to know why you are? Because I'm telling you, when a guy has to approach a woman, most of the time, guys have to approach a woman.
It's 2020.
Women decide.
2021 though, G.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Women decide on how they already know the reaction they're gonna give you before you walked up and talked to them. Straight based off of how you look. As they say, the nice guy. The nice guy has to work a lot harder. The nice guy don't get to just walk up to a woman. They got to prove they worth through other means. And they got to go out and maybe be their friend. Maybe show them how to do this. And then maybe
kill a bear, get a house, build a cabin by hand.
And slowly have them maybe
sure
look.
this is in the 1700s.
Wait, hold on. Time out. Hold on. Flag on the play, bro. What? You got to kill a bear, build a house, put together a cabin. What you saying?
That's exactly what I said, actually.
But that's fine because I actually somewhat agree in the analogy way.
But just threw me off about
I'm saying, but you have to go.
Yeah.
You have to go the extra mile.
Yeah, we do.
To get the girl, they have to see it. You know, they have to physically see it because they can't look past the physical attributes. But so just throw that out there. So backtracking to what I was saying at the beginning.
I think
the situation
because I want to before you keep going.
You want to add to that?
I want to add to that specific point.
Oh, go
right.
ahead.
That when a woman looks at a man,
right,
and they say, "Hey, yeah, no," right,
right,
he could be a good looking person,
right, but they know
he might have on his work clothes.
They know
or they just don't fit their particular profile that they want.
Right.
I hear it all the time. Like so don't get me wrong. I haven't before my wife. I didn't have a lot of trouble.
Make it clear.
I had to make it clear. I didn't have a lot of trouble like with women. Like y'all know,
He likes butts. No.
And then he gonna sing it.
Wow.
Hey.
I'm not putting myself out there like that. So anyway, but like seriously, I didn't have issues with women and interacting with women and things of that nature. But I will say this: I definitely know I missed out on some just because I'm short. Because some will say, they'll be like, "Oh, I want him to be 6'5". First of all, I heard somebody say, "I want my man to be 6'5", and I thought to myself, how many 6'5" men do you think you know?
Yeah, honestly, I think women feel like we're not also on social media. Mm-hmm. The amount of posts that you see about what a man should be doing or what a man should look like, heavily outweighs a post where you see what a man telling what a woman should look like or what. But it's funny because we're the most shallow bitches.
But does that make them shallow though?
No, in my estimation, it does not. But that's my point. But they're the ones pushing out the term shallow. Mm-hmm. So what I'm saying is, it's all just dating preferences. You are deciding what you want to date, and so am I.
They made the word shallow as this with this negative connotation, right? Which is why I even stated that I don't think shallow is the actual problem,
right?
I don't think the word shallow shouldn't be, because again, it's simple.
Just a lot of salty people out there.
That's what's happening. People get turned down, and they pull out a word out the book. And because they in today's terms we call that butt hurt. Yes. And this is what all we gonna say. The only thing this is all kind of wrapping up for me for is going back to your point. If you find some sort of whatever your baseline attraction is to a person. Mm-hmm. And you stay on that. If you want to define shallow, that would be it. I don't like it because I'm not saying it's wrong. I just don't particularly like it because I don't want to get into somebody's business per se. Because my thing is love is weird. Mm. And people love for all different kind of reasons. Mm.
Sure.
And I don't telling somebody what they should love like or what love looks like. Mm-hmm. I can't my relationship gonna look different than Mark's relationship gonna look different than Chuck's and Dom. So my thing is everybody got different priorities in their relationship. I mean certain stuff you would think should be the norm.
Podcast.
Right.
I had a rebuttal to that, but we ain't gonna go there.
But I'm saying certain people the way people's relationship works out is different. No. Whatever for me is whatever works. That's just kind of way I look at it. Mm-hmm. If that works for you, that works for you. Yeah. If what Will Smith and Jada do works for Will Smith and Jada, that works for Will Smith
Hey
Jada.
man, if they like to get entangled, then
That's what
hey,
I'm saying.
Let them entangle themselves.
You know?
They don't entangle themselves. They entangle with others.
It don't matter. If
All
that
right.
works for them, then that works for them. I'm not getting
So-
nobody else's bedroom.
Hey, so
That's all.
look.
Hey, Will, if you ever watch this, I ain't saying it, bro.
So look, this
I'm saying you could.
Fight him.
Hey,
bro.
listen,
Do it
brother. She got entangled with somebody else.
Oh,
Do your thing,
no.
dog. Do
We
your
don't
thing,
know
Big Willie.
nothing. So this thing, this is another thing. Everybody has this perception of what we see of certain things, and so we think that. So that was just something I wanted
That was
to bring.
actually a shallow comment from me.
That was a very shallow comment.
Very.
But I just wanted to say, bringing up about.
And that says a lot coming from me.
Well, so I wanted to bring up about man, kind of slipped my mind. I wanted to bring up about how like we're talking about being shallow and different perspectives, right?
Right.
So the thing is, so that's what I wanted to bring up. So you mentioned about how a lot of people get hurt, and so they come up with this word shallow and things like that. I also think that the word shallow comes from, or the perception of shallow comes from people not liking the fact that other people may not like what they like. People they want you to,
But
when you
isn't
say that,
shallow in itself.
yeah.
The butthurt, petty, salty people out there that think
Wow.
that because someone doesn't preference them and decides that person is now shallow because they don't preference them, because they didn't give them the time of day, because their first attraction to them or lack of attraction to them didn't guide them to get to know them better. You are now shallow because you didn't have the wherewithal to think deeper and know that person's first attraction is what guides them to want to know you better.
Woo, look at that.
This
See? That's what we're trying.
This is the philosopher.
Where was
But it's
he
true.
the last
At the beginning,
40
but-
minutes of this,
But it's
this
true.
episode?
You can literally spin it any way you want.
Absolutely.
That's why I don't like the
Absolutely.
word. I mean,
So it's not so
chuck
much
it-
the word, it's the action that comes with it.
Yes, because my thing is, you like what you like, and I'm sorry if the person that you like did not like you back. That does not make them shallow. I apologize.
How about this? I also don't care if you like what I like. That's okay.
Guess what?
You don't have
There
to.
is 6 billion people in this world.
7.
7 now billion
Almost 8.
people in this world.
Probably close to 8.
Closer to
Cool.
That's cool.
A whole lot of people in this world. You will find somebody that likes what you like and will like you. You do not have to. Trust me, doing this is not
Yeah.
gonna make the person that don't like you now like you. Right? I mean, I'm just saying, you're not gonna change anyone's dating preference or personal preference. You're not gonna change it.
Yeah.
So that's
I mean,
what
you
they're
can.
saying. You're not gonna change it. So I mean, if they choose to change it, they will. But you're not going to. That's my
can't
point.
change another
Yeah, if they choose to change whatever they perspective is, then
Guide
sure.
people to change,
But
but you can't change.
But you yelling at
You
me.
can manipulate them, but go ahead.
Yeah, but you
It's guiding.
Yeah, but that's not gonna last. long.
Guidance.
But you can.
I like the word manipulate. It's a darker word.
It is. It's
when we're
dark.
talking
It's dark.
about
It's dark.
changing somebody's point of view, I think
I'm
that's
thinking,
but yeah.
on a spiritual level, typically we want to guide people as opposed to manipulate people.
Well, no.
If
I get
it's
what
negative,
you're
it's
saying.
manipulate.
I get what you're saying, but to his point, he was talking about changing people's like how they feel, like what they want and how they feel.
Right.
Like that's more of a manipulative thing, I think. That's not necessarily.
And to me, you're not really changing it. You're manipulating them to make them think
Hey,
that's what they.
if I
get
That's
what
what
I,
I'm
like,
getting.
if I get
that
what I
stuff-
want, if you get what you want.
But you're not gonna. I mean, it
Wow.
depends. It depends on what you want, though. See, that's
sound
another
like
thing.
you out here trying to commit crimes.
Yeah. And by the way, just want to make one more point, just so y'all can be even more.
We
mad
do
at
not
me.
support crime.
Yeah.
Not at all. Not at all. Wink. Not at all.
Look,
Wait a minute.
at the end of the day,
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
he said wink, didn't he?
Okay.
Well, you can't talk because you was talking about being ghost from Power like some other stuff. So
Hey, I'm
you
just
got
saying.
nothing.
Hey,
You
that
got
brother
nothing.
was smart.
You got nothing.
That brother was smart. Listen, I don't care. Look, he was a businessman.
Do any of y'all watch Snowfall? I love Snowfall.
I do.
That's another day. That's another day.
I mean,
I think
we
that
get close to
brother
the
is
end, but I
pretty
just
smart,
feel like Snowfall. I mean, Franklin been making some terrible
It's a great
decisions
show.
lately. I just want to throw that out.
I
there.
haven't watched the
I disagree.
latest episode.
Hey,
disagree.
we don't know who has watched it and ain't watched it.
Go back and
Don't
watch it. They
spoil
on like
nothing.
season
I just
3.
said he's made some terrible decisions. I
disagree.
didn't get no plot points.
I mean, I'm just saying,
If you ain't watched it, then that's
Ghost
your
started
fault.
making terrible decisions too. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And we see how that ended.
I still disagree. But,
We about to talk about this. Anyway, go ahead.
We don't have time to talk about this, but
Ultimately, before we end, I'm sorry I cut you off, but we got to come to the end.
I ain't mad at you.
I think that either use the word right. I don't know if I said right like that, but use the word right or just don't use the word shallow at all.
I agree.
Stop calling people shallow. Stop telling people that they shallow because they don't either like what you like or they don't like you.
I think shallow
That's
should
foolish.
only be used in reference to someone not, when necessary, need to be intellectual, and they're not. Because at that point, if something requires deep thought, and instead of using deep thought, you're just thinking on the surface, then that would make you shallow. I believe, and tell me if y'all disagree, that shallow has absolutely nothing to do with what our preference is for the opposite sex. In some cases, we ain't gonna go there, but
I agree with the statement. I can
for
tell you
the
that.
other person that we're attracted to in the world.
I agree with the statement.
And for me, y'all all see how I migrated, I'm not migrated, but I evolved this entire conversation till they all pretty much agree with me. So, thanks.
He's a shallow person.
Thank you. Thanks,
for
you
that
guys.
statement.
The fact that he feels that he manipulated this scenario.
Yeah. Manipulated the entire conversation.
He's very wrong.
Because y'all see how it started and you see how it ended.
I agree with
check
both
the
of
tape.
y'all. I agree with both of y'all.
Check the tape.
I've always agreed with both of y'all.
Well, we all agree now.
Side
so.
note, he doesn't know that I planned this stuff out already. Go ahead. All right, so thank you guys for watching. We appreciate it. Thanks for everybody that's listening as well.
It's scripted.
Make sure y'all, all the subscriptions, all the saves, all the shares, all the likes. Come back for the next episode. It's going to be super dope.
Yes, it will.
We're going to argue on that one, too.
Absolutely. All right, we're about to sign off from Boys to Men. Peace.
One.
3.
I don't know why I put this up.
I'm mad at George Herm. You that's it.